One. Hey guys, this is Dardamos with Dardamos Dominions, and I am here with our with one of our players, RCK. And RCK, who are you playing as?
I'll be playing as Therados in this game.
Okay, so let's go into here and start up Therados. Now, are you like Novell, who only picks like a undead-ish nations, or did it just happen to come up that you picked Therados?
Well, it was a nation I've always wanted to play, and I haven't actually played them yet, so I was just going to throw it out there. So we'll see how it goes. I've been doing a lot of research and a lot of testing on them. I've been messing around with undead nations. They're all right, but we'll see.
Now, so have you played these guys in single player at all?
I have been lately, yes. Been doing a lot of testing to figure out what kind of setup I really want for them.
Now, Therados is a really interesting nation in that it does have free spawn, but it's also semi alive. Like there's actually units here in comparison to say what Aramor doesn't have anything, correct?
Yes. The funny thing about Therados is it kind of wants to do a lot of things at one time. Yeah, you need a lot of gold for your mages, but at the same time, you want to just have your undead chaff and regenerate or spawn them. So at this point, you kind of take sucky scales, but all of your mages, I mean, the whole time you want to be recruiting them. And you also have decent sacreds, the first one in the line there but they're only that now that's the second one. Now that's to recruit anywhere sacred, and it's okay, but it's not as good as the one that comes in the yellow one with the bronze.
Okay.
Now those are cap only. And since either way, even if you took growth scales, you're still going to be losing population in your capital. Eventually, throughout the game, you won't be able to create these guys anymore. So it kind of leaves you at that odd position. It's like, what kind of scales do you really want to take for this nation?
Now, are you planning on going for a bless for these guys, or are you planning to stay away from
I'll have a pretty large bless, but it's not going to be for these guys.
Okay, so let's go into your mages. Who are going to be your research mages?
The research mages are going to be now. We will have these philosophers that are my free spawns, and not only will they have.
Oh, keep talking, dude. I'm trying to get to a point where I can show them
They
off.
have sloth research, so in sloth dominion they'll have better research, and then on top of that we'll also have magic skills. So I think whenever I had them sitting in 3 sloth and 3 magic, they were up to 25 research apiece, and those are going to be your philosophers. But other than that, you'll be having the dwarves. They're going to be doing a lot of your research because you're going to really want to make them to kind of mass out the items that you're going to be planning to make throughout this game.
So there's the spectral philosophers. So they've got,
definitely.
And they come out. They're free spawn. Do you know how hard it is to get them?
Like that you do? Huh?
No, keep going.
Now I know that Therados, they will have 2 summons that are free for their nation. They're at Conjuration 0, so you'll have them as soon as you start the game. Now the Philosophers will cost you 11 Death Gems, and the other one I think will cost you like 7 or 8 Death Gems. Yeah, there we go. And you'll have those from the very start.
What are you planning on using your Death Gems for?
Just Philosophers, essentially. I probably won't ever cast the other one. I just want to cast Philosophers. The other one's just your level 1 priest that you can call spirits with. Yeah, you have one of those in the cap too.
What's funny is that when I did this, I actually made a bunch of E4s, and then I didn't make a whole lot of Spectral Philosophers. But I think that your idea is much better. Get your research down pat. And why exactly are you going for research? What's the goal? Like, why are you going so heavy on research?
Well, just like you saw in the last game, I had a large nation of chaff, but what was really the home run on that one was all the mages I had backing it up. And with this nation here, you have pretty good access to just about all magic. I mean, you have death, nature, you have air, you have water. You're really can easily cast spell vapors like that. That mage can cast spell vapors out of the box.
Now, what is this? What is this dwarven dude here?
Now he's going to be. I believe as soon as the game starts, I'm going to start recruiting them. But he's going to be your forgers and also some of your main researchers. So you be able to easily go to concert or construction too, and then you'll start forging alquils to really start your production up. But he also has another ability, has a forge bonus. So if you go back and check, he can forge everything at a higher level. So if he's a level 2 death or level 1 death, he can forge level 2 death items. Or
So
by
he can
or
forge, like he could forge hammers right out of the box.
Yep, he doesn't need any random. He can as soon as you build him, you can forge a hammer.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's one of the one of the gems you get more of is actually Earth for this nation, which is surprising. I think you get 3 gems of Earth for as soon as you start, and that's what in your capital. I was surprised to only see 1 death and 1 water, I think, and 1 air. Yeah, but you get 3 Earth for every turn.
That's wild because it doesn't seem like this nation is an Earth nation. But are you planning on selling hammers at all?
If it comes down to it, probably if I can get my hand on more death gems, just to really drive home my research. But I will probably be a very I essentially be playing the role as Olm in this game for the early game anyway.
Now, what is these Malayas? Are they any what good? Are these guys worth getting at all?
They're okay. They have really high awe. Other than that, I mean they're pretty good as leaders. I believe the blessed I took, I'll have some undead command. So since they are sacreds as well, they'll be able to easily move my troops around. And but as far as like thugging them out, I don't think I will.
Like, it's
I
really
thought
funny
about
because
it, I'm not sure.
we just went over Pan yesterday, and one of the
Uh-huh.
things is like they have this hero betide that I used to thug, and like
Uh-huh.
in my game I used it to thug, and this unit looks just like it, only better. It has a higher attack skill, it has higher defense. Um, and I've been told that this thing is like the thing to thug, but at the same time, like 15 hit points is 15 hit points.
That's true. That's true. That's kind of how I'm looking at it at this point. It does have recuperation already though, but it's all right. I might end up doing it. I might not. I'll see where it goes. Um, if you go back and look at your other units, you'll have units that you can only recruit on the coast, or you can recruit on land. Because I mean, you notice where we start in the ocean, we're underwater nation, but we're underwater nation that really wants to get on land.
It's really interesting. Like like I'm seeing like these all 3 of these units in this one right here are all they're all like they're Therados units. This
Yeah,
troglodyte is not, and then
yeah.
all of these are as well. So what of here? We've already seen this one. I'm guessing that this one right here is the one you're talking about, right?
Yep, he's going to be another one of your key builders because he has a forge bonus, so he's able to forge items 1 cheaper than everything else. So, say if you give him a dwarven hammer, and then on top of his forge bonus, he's going to be making things 3 gems cheaper than they normally would. So a 5 gem item would only cost you 2.
So 2 gem quills, 2 gem lightless lanterns, and your research is golden.
Yep, yep.
That's nice. This is probably my favorite. This is the reason why I like Therados right here. It's this guy right here. He's so shiny.
And then on top of that, yes, he does cause unrest, but you also have commanders that decrease unrest.
So you just need one of these Malias for every single one of these Kibros.
Now, does it increase unrest by 2, or is it less than that? I can't remember exactly.
Oh, you're
Just one.
right. So you only need half of them. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, in their gold to research is not terrible.
Yeah, they're pretty decent because you have to think they're going to be in Magic 3 scales.
Oh, that's right. Oh my goodness. So you're going to be getting really good research from these guys.
Yeah.
Now let's go over the. I'm assuming that you're not going to be making a lot of sacreds, and you're not going to be making a lot of these guys, correct?
No, whenever I free spawn my sacreds, because I will have spectral sacreds as well, I'll use them. But other than that, I probably won't end up using them. Like I won't be intentionally building them.
Okay, so let's go over these units real quick. What makes the Therados free spawn so unique?
What makes them so unique is that they're ghosts, they're ethereal. That's what makes them so much better than regular long dead. But what kind of really kind of hurts them about this is they also have morale. So you have people can make morale plays on you. Your ghosts can end up running, which kind of sucks. And all of your ghosts, even your archers, will have magic weapons.
Two archers. Let me sort these guys real quick. Okay, that was a bad place to sort them. All 10 of them. Okay. So your archers even have. Oh my goodness, you have magic weapon archers. Now,
and on top of
what's that?
So on top of that, you have to think. I mean, ghosts are cold resistant, poison resistant. They're floating, so earthquake isn't going to work against them. They have spirit sight. The assault vulnerability, that really doesn't matter as much. Your hoplites, they're really good units since they're formation fighters, so you can get 4 of them to a square.
Yeah, I remember these guys were being just amazing. Now the thing is they have 0 protection though. Doesn't that suck?
Yeah, it does, but that's kind of where the ethereal kicks in, and also how like my mages that I recruit also come out with very high nature, so I can end up doing like wooden warriors or mass protection and things like that, and attempt to kind of get that protection higher. So that is one route later on in the game I might take. Because once they go up to 10 natural protection, being an ethereal ghost unit, I mean it's going to be pretty decent against most things.
Yeah, it seems like, going from 0 to 10 is such a big deal, and already being ethereal, it seems like these would make it, this is a huge research goal. And now, is this going to be your first research goal?
It might be. I will be working down construction a lot first, though, just to really get things started, and then after that, I'll probably be moving on to there. Well, because sure, the fire susceptibility is going to be kind of tough, but I mean, I'll also have like level 3 water mages, so I'll be able to cast things that give me fire resistance at the same time. So it's not that big of a deal, but we'll see how that goes.
Now, there's 2 different styles because, like, you have Therados underwater with some pretty big EA nations. I mean, Relay comes to mind. Pelagia is also another one. But you're in the water by yourself. Does this change your strategy?
Yes, it does. Since if I was playing with EA Atlantis, they would just run me over because like all of their units have magical weapons. But since I have all of the water by myself, I can essentially just take it all and board it all up, and maybe take a few pieces of land, depending how the first couple of turns go and who's beside me. So we'll see how that goes, but hopefully I'll have it all to myself.
Is your priority going to be going for land or staying in the water?
For the first couple of turns, I'll probably try to take a couple of land provinces. But if people notice I'm taking too much, I'm positive they're definitely going to try to kick me off the land. So I'll try to get a handful and start getting the forts up. But then after that, I'll probably move back in the water and trying to reassure my everything I have in there. Because I will be trying to site search and stuff as much as I can to get early gems as fast as I can.
So let's talk about your pretender. What did you end up going with?
I ended up taking the Hydromancer.
Okay, and what are your magic spells?
Let me go bring it up. So I have Air 4, Water 4, Earth 5, Astral 4, and Nature 4. And I have 7 Dominion, 3 in the Unrest one. It's got 2 swords. It's not order, it's
Turmoil.
oh, yeah, that's correct. And then I took 3 Sloth because you have to take 3 because your recruit only or your recruit mages they have the Sloth. The Ghost Ethereal ones have the Sloth research, so in higher Sloth they get more research. So Sloth 3, Cold 3, Death 3, and then I took Luck 3 and Magic 3.
What's really interesting is that like when I'm kind of like you where I have my own words for symbols and for certain things like that. So for me, like it's like, oh yeah, three swords. Definitely 3
Yeah,
swords.
there you go. 3 logs.
Yeah, exactly. 3 logs.
And I did take it awake.
Okay. Now, what did you go for a bless?
So I have a long list of a bless as well. So I took both of the shock resistances, both of the cold resistances, fire and shock resistance for the earth, both of the magic resistances, both of the poisons, and 1 point in resilient. So 1 HP.
Now, this is a lot of resist for those crappy sacred guys that we were
Oh
looking
yeah,
at, and I assume that we're not taking a resist for this. I mean,
I gotta keep them alive, you know. But no,
what exactly are you making this for?
the reason I did this was to really build around.
I'm sorry, you said to build around what? Sorry,
Huh?
you cut out there. You said you're trying to
Oh,
build around what?
my mages.
Okay, so this is for your mages.
Yep, because even though my free spawn units are going to be ethereal ghosts, my mages are still alive, unfortunately. So a lot of things that wouldn't kill the ghosts are going to kill the mages.
Okay, so you're gonna keep your mage core alive for your for this.
Exactly. This is going to lead me to go for plays like foul vapors or the winter one like a fatigue play. So, and also having high magical resistance always helps.
What is that? I know it's water. It's not here.
It's water nature. No, which one? The fatigue one.
Yeah.
Is it something winter? That's not breath
Grip
of
of
winter.
Winter. There we go.
Yeah, there it is. Since I also took cold 3 as my dominion, it's gonna really hurt anyone coming into it if I put up that enchantment.
What's interesting is you can do the Grip of Winter and the Rigor Mortis, and it doesn't affect any of your troops. And it's gonna affect, but it's gonna like wreck theirs.
Yeah.
And then you could throw Foul Vapors on top of it and just let the turn timer do the rest.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, I threw in the shock just if someone wanted to use it against me. I haven't really thought of too much incorporating it into my mass spells, but I do have access to air though, so it might be something down the road, but not during any time mid game. I don't believe.
I mean, you could potentially put 3 into and do like a rainbow for your sight searching. Get rid of your shock and bring down to 6, but that's so terrible. 36 left. Oh no, wait. You could drop a Dominion and get 3 points of fire. That's really interesting. So it's really fun because you've got high dominion. Why are you taking such high dominion?
Because I kind of want to. Because sometimes it's hard to explain, but even though I have bad scales, I mean, it's worse. It's not as bad for me to take those scales because I'm not going to be recruiting stuff I'll be recruiting commanders. I won't be recruiting units out of my places. So the minus 54% or resources and supplies, like that's not really going to hurt me. The unrest reduction is not really going to bother me. Yes, the impact to income is going to hurt because eventually I won't be getting as much later on in the game. But those terrible skills are really going to hurt everybody else around me more than it's going to hurt me.
Is the free spawn based on your dominion?
I believe it is. It is based on, I believe, the dominion, what's in that province, being a castle, a temple, or a lab. I believe that's what determines it.
Okay, now one more thing that I want to go into. I'm getting a little feedback, dude. With the players in this game, who are your? Because we talked to a couple of the other players and we asked them like, who are you looking out for? Who are you scared of? Would you look at this list of players? Who are some names that stand out, and who are you going to be looking out for?
There's a lot of people playing this game. I've either watched play or heard about other people talking about them playing, and like these are a lot of good people playing. So if I get kicked out of the game early, I'm not going to be surprised.
Who are some? Name drop some of them. Kind of interesting on who people are scared of.
Let me go look at the game, and let me look at the list of people playing. I see Clash of Viewers. Well,
let me give you a ping there.
Did you move? Oh, I see it now. I see it. You moved it, I think.
Yeah, we moved. I don't know if you caught. I destroyed the bot yesterday.
Yeah.
Just like, oh crap, I'm going to bed.
So to even start off the list, we have Nosy, which I've heard he's a really good player. I haven't been able to play with him yet, but from everything I've heard, he's a really good player.
Now the nice thing is Pan has an inability to go underwater easily, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Since they do have recruitable water mages, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I think you're pretty safe here, though. So that's one good news. Do you think that he's going to kick you off of land?
Probably. If I'm beside him, he probably will.
Okay, who are some other ones that you're looking at?
Just looking at just the people playing. Like we got Saxony, we got the Hexaman guy. We've got Joe Brandon, we've got Kirby, and I'm sitting here looking inside the screen. I'm like, okay, well, they're all game masters, so of course they're going to be really good players. I already played with Gazlov, which I know he's a good player, and he's playing Van, which is kind of what he always does. So he's going to bring the best of what he's got to the table. I haven't played with the Mazarin 72 guy, or something. I believe that's his name. Grippa, I played with Grippa. Grippa's all right, you know.
Grippa's Grippa. What's funny is I don't know if you've heard the story. He and I co-opted a game and we were rocking. We went for a throne rush and it went all sorts of bad. Just rotten luck. And I was like, dude, I need a break. Like, finish this game off. And he won it by himself. He has the knowledge, and when he has the tools, he has the knowledge to use the tools.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping he looks really good here because I think he has the potential. It's really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I like Grippa. He's a pretty nice guy. We joke a lot whenever we get in chat because of what happened in the last game, of course. But
he needs to get that fighting spirit, and then I think he'll be a really good player. What's interesting and what I always bring up with this is Uvar is played by Kirby, and Uvar is the new nation that. I mean, I think it's overpowered. I think other people have said it's overpowered, but it's kind of an argument because others say that it's not quite like it's kind of like once you know how to kill it, it's killable. And Kirby has played it a lot. How afraid are you of this nation?
I just played against the Ubar. They have some really powerful units in their roster, being like, see, I know you brought it up on the screen over there.
With oh, you're talking Uvar? Uvar's nation?
Yeah, didn't you just bring it up?
Yeah, it's right here. Oh wait, hold on. Can you still see it, dude?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
So, like, the gens, or whatever you want to call them, they're really strong. They have some pretty good abilities. They cost a lot, but they're also really strong, and they can also take a pretty strong bless to them. Now, that's the commanders are the only ones that are sacred, aren't they? I don't think the units are themselves.
Let's see. I think that okay. So this commander's sacred, but this one's not. I think that they have a whole unit list that we just can't see. It's right. I wonder if I can actually pull. Oh, look, you can actually pull these guys up. Like these guys are sacred.
Yeah.
Like these
That's
guys
what
are
I was worried about.
So these are actually a unit, I think. Yeah, these are a unit. So they get
Yeah.
sacreds later.
Yeah. I am playing in one game right now where I'm playing as Ermor. This is a EA game, and Ubar actually ended up starting beside me, and I spoke with my neighbor, and like this is first year I think we attacked him, and then before the second year was up, we already killed him. It was Hinam and Ermor. That's who we were playing as. But the Zen units, they did put up a good fight. I will say that, being 2v1 in very early game war. I was really surprised.
Were you playing against? Were you playing? Was Kirby playing Uvar?
No, I don't believe Kirby was playing Ubar. I don't think.
It feels like every Uvar game that there is, Kirby's playing it right now.
I mean, it could have been a good chance. I mean, I didn't know who we were fighting. I just knew we needed to get rid of them.
Do you have any threats to you going underwater naturally? Like any players that would naturally go underwater?
Now, I feel like Femoria has a good chance of. No, is Femoria playing in this game?
There's no Femoria, which is
No.
there's no Femoria, there's no Agartha. I think you've got free reign of the of the underwater.
I was feeling that way too, because if those nations were playing in the game, that would have changed things up a little bit.
And what's interesting is that I know that one of the big things that Therados, like the counter to Therados, is magic weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm sure everybody's going to take magic weapons.
I'm pretty sure everybody's going to take magic. Like I would assume that being the Therados player.
Too.
What I would not assume is that everybody would take poison resist. And I think that, going into the end here, I think we do need to. I don't actually have the ability to show the unit, but I kind of do. Is this Telki?
Yes.
Now, have you looked at the Telkine before?
I have, and I considered taking him as my pretender chassis, but at the same time, once I get higher enough research, I can just summon him with my pretenders, since they are a summonable, or a unit you can summon.
Now, do you want to go over what the Telkine, what's so good about it? I mean, like looking at here and it like kills its own units. I mean, sailing, your guys, don't need sailing.
Yeah.
Nothing here screams. I mean, it's a nice chassis. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't seem like it's like a make or break type of chassis. What makes this guy so amazing?
So what's really good about Telkines is not only are they a decent chassis that has a pretty decent range of magic paths, but as soon as they start a battle, they will automatically have foul vapors on.
So do they? As in, they don't even cast it? Is it just turn one?
I believe it is.
And like it doesn't really go into that. Like you have to read the fluff, and it's really interesting to me that there are units, and I'm kind of curious how many there are that have this just in the fluff. Like
now,
what's it?
As far as I know, I can really only think about one or two more. And now I know Lanka has a summon later on in the game that gives like auto cast darkness or something like that. But other than those two, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
Now, why didn't you go with the Telkine? Because it seems like this is the go-to for me.
It was an expensive pretender chassis to take.
Okay, so you're going more for paths than you are for you're going more for paths.
Yes.
Okay. That's definitely fair enough. And what I'm really looking forward is I hope that I know that you're going to probably go alteration and construction first, but for our sakes, definitely think about going to Conjuration and get us a couple Palkines to watch.
Yeah, for sure. That's just gonna be real fun to play with.
Okay, dude. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time and going through this with us, and I'm really excited in seeing. I think that you've got the capability of taking the driver's seat in this game, just being the only underwater nation. So keep us updated with your diplomacy, especially because being the only underwater nation, the diplomacy is a whole different ball game. So keep us updated on your diplomacy through chat, and thank you for joining us.
All right, I'm really glad I was able to play in this next game.
We'll see you guys later, and enjoy.